The next musical element we'll examine is that of form. Form is perhaps a larger or longer reaching element than melody or rhythm or harmony. At least it tells us how an entire movement or piece can be unified or constructed. It tells us the sections of a piece that are similar, and it tells us about how sections that are different, in fact, contrast. One of the most common forms in Western music is this one, that of verse and refrain. In a piece written with a verse and refrain structure, the verse is a particular melody and rhythm and harmony with a set of words. That's followed by a contrasting section with a different melody, rhythm, and harmony. Then we hear a new verse where the words have changed, but the original melody and rhythm is the same. That's followed by the same old refrain as before, so that the melody, rhythm, and harmony of the second section always stay the same. A familiar winter carol that you might know is constructed indeed in this verse-refrain arrangement. You'll hear two different contrasting sets of words, the verses, interspersed with a common refrain. Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh, o'er the fields we go, laughing all the way. Bells on bobtail ring, making spirits bright. What fun it is to laugh and sing a sleighing song tonight. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. A day or two ago, I thought I'd take a ride, and soon Miss Fanny Bride was seated by my side. The horse was lean and lank, misfortune seemed his lot. He got into a drifted bank, and we got upsot. Oh, jingle bells, jingle all the way. What fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. Jingle bells, jingle all the way. Oh, what fun it is to ride in a one-horse open sleigh. That's just one of the ways in which the form of a piece of music can be expressed. Perhaps the most simplest way, two sections that contrast played against each other. Another example of form is also relatively simple. This example can be represented by the letters A, B, A. It implies that there's a distinct melody in the first portion of a piece, a contrasting different melody in the second portion of the piece, and a return to the same melody from the beginning. A piece that's in ternary form could happen with or without text, so it's important to listen to the notes of the melody over and above the simply listening to the words. Because this form has three parts to it, although two parts are certainly the same, this form has another name, ternary form. Now you'll hear an example of a piece by Mozart. Actually, it's a portion of a piece famous called the Turkish Rondo. We've taken an excerpt of this piece to create a ternary form, an ABA structure. You'll see an illustration of this ABA structure while you hear the music played. Another type of form associated with Western art music, especially in the classical period, is a little more complex. That's called rondo form. Rondo form is almost exclusively used for instrumental music rather than vocal music. It became popular, indeed one of the standard forms of the classical period, the period of Haydn and Mozart, 1750 to 1820. One very common expression of the rondo form has 5 parts. In a rondo form, the first, third, and fifth part are the same melodic material. In this case, I've written the word rondo with the first, third, and fifth parts being blue. That's supposed to remind you of it being the same melodic material. In between the blue bits are contrasting sections with contrasting melodies, contrasting harmonies, and indeed contrasting affects entirely. These alternating sections are sometimes called episodes. In a 5-part rondo, the 3 recurring sections are called a refrain, similar to the returning refrain of the verse-refrain example you heard. The intervening parts here in pink and orange, the contrasting sections, are called episodes. If I were to signify each part of the rondo with a letter that shows me when I'm hearing the same melodic material and when I'm hearing different melodic material, that's going to look like this. A 5-part rondo can be described as having a form A, B, A, C, A. In this case, I ran out of purple A's. Rats. You're going to hear an example again by Mozart from the piano sonata in C major, Kochel 545, commonly called the Easy Sonata. The third movement of this sonata is a lovely 5-part rondo. While you hear the music play, there will be a depiction of the rondo form expressed both in letters and in other delectable symbols.